If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Dan Lyman with me here on the War Room. And speaking of Stranger Things, wait till you see this video that we're about to play. This is, there were protests. I mean, there's protests every day now nationwide, literally every day. You have them in Portland, D.C., just New York, everywhere. Check out this protest. Actually, I forget where this protest was. I think it was New York, though. It was at ICE headquarters. And we'll bring Dan Lyman back in. Dan, check out this video. Audience, check out this video. This is truly shocking stuff from an ICE protest in New York.
So I ask you when you go home, be grateful that you have your kids. And remember that people in power, that white supremacy, that these institutions,
this is in Washington, D.C.
they will
Thank
not
you.
recognize your humanity. They want to commit genocide. And you read about innocent history and you let it happen. How dare you?
Quit your jobs! 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 No borders, no walls! Stop the deportation! No borders, no walls! Stop the deportation! No borders, no walls! Stop the deportation!
Have you heard the recordings of the children sitting where they are? They say they're from El Salvador. They say from their Honduras and Guatemala. These kids don't just speak Spanish. These kids don't even speak English. A lot of them are indigenous. They don't know how to communicate with people who are trying to help them. How scared would you be if you were put in a situation like that?
All the walls have got to go! All the walls have got to go! No justice, no peace! No racist police! No justice, no peace! No racist police! Refugees are welcome
Just look at the madness. These are insane people. Yeah, they are welcome here. We take more refugees than every other country. I mean,
in their building. Before we got here, they set up police fencing so that we could not even get close to the doors.
listen to this. This is hilarious. Listen out. They're even dumber than you think, Dan. Listen to this.
They sent a message to their employees to not come into work today.
So they're protesting an empty building, folks. There's no one in the building. There's no one there. They're literally shouting at a building. They're chanting. So look at this. She just said, hey, look, no one's in the building. Now they're chanting at the ICE agents to quit their jobs who aren't even there. Now they're saying, let us in. They want in the building. The ICE agents aren't there. What are you going to do in there? Once you get in the building, what are you going to do? What are you going to tear it apart?
Our streets! Our streets! Shut it down! 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 Shut it down!
When I say shut down, you say ICE! Shut down!
ICE!
Shut down!
ICE!
Shut down!
ICE!
Shut down!
ICE!
Shut down!
ICE! Your borders! Your walls! We will make your system fall! Your borders! Your walls! We will make your system fall! No peace!
All right, you know what? I think that our audience, I think that we get the point here. Wow, Dan. So these people now, like we said, these people don't want borders. Okay, they're so mentally deranged that they're literally just chanting at a building. They know there's no ICE agents in there, and yet they're chanting at the ICE agents who aren't there, but they're really just chanting at an inanimate object, a building. I've actually seen that before, believe it or not. And then they admit they want to see the system fall. So they admit they want to bankrupt America. They admit they want to see America fall. They admit that they don't want borders. They admit they hate America. I mean, what more do people need to see, Dan?
Well, these are the stormtroopers of the Cloward and Piven agenda, trying to, like as they said, bring down the whole system. Grading the autistic screeching is unbelievable from these people, and I can't help but notice they are all really just ugly, ugly people. I mean, they're ugly on the inside, obviously, but ugly on the outside too. It's just a weird misfit brigade here that they look like they are desperate for attention. They probably all got participation trophies, and as I mentioned, they're aligning themselves. It's like a greater Antifa movement, and you can see that there are clearly some Antifa types there with the masks, the black bloc apparel. So it's concerning because these people they look like they're thirsty for blood, some of them, and so you do have to wonder, how far will they go? How far are they willing to go? You had an ICE agent or a DHS employee that was injured, had their ankle broken down in Texas at one of these protests where they were trying to stop a bus. And an agent was trying to protect an elderly lady in the melee, ended up having their ankle broken. That was disturbing. And then also we had the one agent that had a charred, burned animal left on their front step, I believe. So it's getting really weird, and it has this very satanic vibe about it.
Well, let's be honest here. Let's be clear. These protests wear masks. It's all the same protest. It's all a protest of Trump, which, I mean, if you want to really get down to it, Trump is just the piñata because these people really just hate white men. I mean, if you really want to get down to these people's roots, I would bet a lot of them just hate white men, and the most of them are white men. I mean, these are just miserable people. You talk about their ugliness; it's their ugliness on the inside showing itself, really. And it's like they just don't. Look, I don't understand a person like that, honestly. It's like they just want to be bums. They just want to be misfits. They want to be ugly. You know, it's like, oh, you know, but it's just all a Trump protest. It's all a Trump protest. The Women's March, a Trump protest. Protesting ICE, a Trump protest. Black Lives Matter, that's turned into a Trump protest. Kneeling for the anthem, everything's a Trump protest now. And I want to kind of go back to what you were saying about these injuries. You know, they want to bring up Charlottesville. Well, let's talk about Charlottesville. What happened to Charlottesville? A bunch of left-wing agitators showed up and started a fight. And again, I don't want anybody to die. I don't want Heather Heyer to get killed at one of these protests. But what happened to Heather Heyer? A bunch of radical leftists were beating this individual's car, and he freaked out and ended up punching the gas, and she ended up dying. So that's them causing it. And they even admit it, Dan. They even admit it. And I don't know if that's true. Some professor comes out later and says, oh, I'm glad that I scared off the driver of that car. Basically, you're the one admitting that you're guilty for what happened to Heather, just like they surround Mitch McConnell's car. And then somehow they tell us to be civil?
I don't know who they think they're messing with, too. I mean, the vast majority of folks who don't want to put up with this have really restrained themselves. But in general, like when push comes to shove, these people are a bunch of weirdos who don't know how to handle a weapon. Most of them have no idea how to fight. And if they push enough folks to defend themselves, it's going to be people who do know how to fight, who do know how to handle a weapon, who do know, Brazilian jiu-jitsu and, Krav Maga and stuff like that. These people don't stand a chance in that regard. So it seems like they're just walking themselves into a meat grinder in many ways if they continue this. My worry is I don't know how the country ever recovers from this. And I think that the social divide within the nation is really on display now. So I don't know like how we push forward after this, but I'm sure people said that after the Civil War. How do we get over this? And, in many ways, I guess we did. But at this point, I don't know how we ever return to the era of civility. I think it's long gone at this point.
But, I mean, at least with the original Civil War, you can find the reasons behind it. The Democrats wanted to keep their slaves, and the Republicans essentially wanted to maintain the Union. So the Union said, no, you're not going to leave the Union. And the Southern Democrats said, yes, because we want to keep our slaves. And so they fought and they maintained the Union. I mean, what's going on now? There's no sense. You can't even make sense of it. You have a bunch of morons, brainwashed sheeple, protesting that they want to take the system down. The very system that gives them their free speech. The very system that gives them the chance to come out of the muck and make something of themselves. And they just want to crap all over it.
Yeah, I view these people as traitors. They're either willfully they're traitors or they're brainwashed. But in the era the internet and all this information, ignorance is a choice at this point. So these people are dangerous, and I don't know how it's going to be dealt with. I think that at this point, the gloves have to come off. These people, if you're going to show up at ICE like that and cause a public disturbance, you get a chance to leave, and then you start getting rounded up, and then we go from there. So Trump did vow that earlier today in a tweet. He said that the anarchists will be met.
Which is not what we want. That's not what we want. But, I mean, you have to do something about this. This is just getting crazy. It only gets worse from here. Again, we don't want that. But, I mean, what do you do? What else do? You don't let these people destroy your country. All right, we'll be right back. We're going to have an update on the shooting in Maryland. An update on the shooting in Maryland on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Support good oral health with our one-of-a-kind Super Blue fluoride-free products. InfoWars Life brings you a revolutionary toothpaste blend with iodine and nano silver designed to deliver a powerful clean. Enjoy a minty fresh flavor made with peppermint oil, or try our bubblegum flavor. Pair this groundbreaking toothpaste with the Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and supercharge your oral health. Our amazing mouthwash features natural oils and ancient ingredients used since Aboriginal and biblical times. Instead of containing fluoride, our Super Blue line is loaded with the good halogen iodine and an array of other beneficial compounds that have been hand-selected for their oral health benefits. Super Blue fluoride-free mouthwash and toothpaste are the first and only to contain all of these natural ingredients: xylitol, nano silver, and iodine. Notice the difference with our Super Blue fluoride-free products. Refresh your breath and invigorate your oral health routine at InfoWarsStore.com. That's InfoWarsStore.com.